Make it clap.
Pool play on a beautiful day in Jupiter, Florida. David Ronsley, Darren Sutton, our entire Perfect Game television production team. Glad to have you with us at Roger Dean Complex. This is the spring training home of the Marlins, of the Cardinals. But in the fall, in October, it's the home of Jupiter. A great baseball event. And as we work into pool play, we have a couple of teams with DBAT United Baseball, GBG, TB SoCal, who we're battling. And David, GBG, TB SoCal has wrapped up, moving on to the championship round.
Yeah, they've already wrapped up 2-0, but the two teams they've beat are CBU 2024 and East Cobb San Diego Padres Scout team. They already have wins over those two teams. So even if DBAT were to win this game, you could have two 2-1 teams, but the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, and GBG has already won the head-to-head. So this is really a game for the players, for seeding and such, and we still have some great talented players, especially on the GBG side.
Yeah, it's fun. Michael Garcia-Parra is co-head coach. Benny Bonilla is the co-head coach for GBG and TB SoCal. Both great baseball men. Tate Caraway on that staff as well. Chris Welch is the owner of the GBG Northeast Hawks. And this is a bit of the history and a fun history.
A fun history, but a quick history. The GBG wasn't started until Michael Garcia-Parra quit baseball in 2010. So this is a 10, 12-year history. Already 17 big league alums, including Hunter Green and the Reds fine rookie Spencer Steer.
Take a peek at the lineup for DBAT team, and Byron Burrell is at the very top of things, and some of the interesting players. Claycomb, I know you talked about him, the catcher.
Yeah, Claycomb, one of the top catchers in the 2026 class. Big right-handed bat, outstanding defensive player. And this is a younger DBAT team. Probably their two best players are Josh Vyers, the number 2 hitter, and Claycomb. Reese Lunsford's had an outstanding event so far.
So that is the lineup from top to bottom for this DBAT team. Jackson Baker will hit for himself. Jackson Baker on the mound. A left-handed hurler takes this responsibility. Murrieta, that's kind of in the Inland Empire South, down by the beautiful parts of San Diego, California. Paloma Valley High School. And he's within the top 500 in the rankings.
And that's something I can see jump. I mean, you look at the profile, 6'6", 190-pound lefty. I was watching some video of him before this game, and boy, it happens real nice and smooth. He's been up to 89 so far. Maybe he'll get that 90 today, maybe not, but also a strike thrower. So a top-level 2025 pitcher.
Southern California, when you think about this group and you wonder where the players are from, almost all of them from Southern California. Baker, as we mentioned, an uncommitted athlete, so it'll be exciting to see where he ends up. Number 30 overall left-handed pitcher, and again at 2025, so 16 years old. Byron Burrell leads things off. He is out of McKinney, Texas. Away we go. We're glad you're with us for this one, and thanks for spending time. We always like to invite people not just to Jupiter, but to the quad, out on the backfields where all the action happens.
Yeah, this has been so cool, Darren, having it here instead of the games we have always done in the stadium. You get the true atmosphere of Jupiter. You get to see the golf carts. You get to hear the noises, and just a great experience this year doing this.
McKinney Boyd High School for Burrell as he comes up empty, swings over the top of that one, the son of Vera and Louis Burrell. First team all-district outfielder in his hometown, so a talented high school athlete and an AP scholar as well. Spoiled a good pitch. Strike throwing right out of the gates.
Like to see that. Burrell looks like a leadoff hitter, 5'7", 165 pounds. Strong legs. You know he runs well. I think I have to get that stopwatch out of my bag, Darren.
He's built like his hero, as that one is to the right side in the air. Hangs up nicely. When I say he's built like his hero, Mookie Betts. He loves watching Mookie Betts play. Also loves watching Enrique Bradfield Jr., who's not to the big leagues, but out of Vanderbilt.
Good baseball awareness by Burrell there, citing a 2023 first rounder.
Yeah, how about that? Vyers is his name, Joshua, as this is a 2026. How fun to be a sophomore and to get the call to play against the best seniors in the country.
No doubt. And he had 3 hits in D-Bat's first game. So he not only is a 2026, he's a competitive, high-level hitter especially. I like him because his brother Jordan was a 2021 outfielder, a little different build, much bigger, but was a 3rd-round pick by the Philadelphia Phillies and was an unknown almost coming into the spring, had a great World Showcase in front of the PG Scouts. I fell in love with him. I gave him a 10 after that, and he's in A-ball now with the Phillies.
Yeah, really showed out in front of you guys and Philly Scouts as well, as that one is low. Everything with a little bit of life to it. Obviously an uncommitted athlete. He didn't commit young, and he's just a sophomore. Schools he's interested in right now, how about North Carolina? How about Arkansas? And they can talk to him next August.
And in fact, his brother was committed to Arkansas.
Boy, he drove that one. And I mean deep to left field. All the way off the wall, right next to the Rawlings sign. In with the double. You liked his bat coming in for a reason.
Wow, that was a nice swing. That was not a power swing. That was a short and quick swing. He got the ball out front, hit it off the warning track, 1 hop off the fence. See, that's a short swing. That's not a power approach. That's just bat speed.
Boy, that was beautiful. And that carried and carried and carried. His self-scouting report, he says, I have good bat-to-ball skills. I have a compact swing. So he showed it right there, but strong, David. Reese Lunsford is the second baseman. Lucky number 13, a chance to drive in a run against this left-hander Baker. How about the runner moving to third as that one skips into the dirt? Augie Lopez couldn't keep it right in front of him anyway. So a wild pitch.
Baker pretty much all fastball now. Has thrown 1 curveball in the upper 60s, otherwise sitting 87, 89 on the fastball.
Reese from Frisco, Texas. Takes that one right out of the catcher's mitt and fouls it off. 17 years old and a senior is Reese. He's got a couple of hits. As a matter of fact, against that East Cobb San Diego Padres scout team, underclass team, he was 2 for 2 in the opener for him in Jupiter. Good take.
Another thing I'd like to like about Jackson Baker, still only 16 years old, so pretty young for the class, and I can just see so much more velocity from that arm. It works so smooth. Stays on line pretty well for someone that tall.
Fly ball right field tagging. Firing from right field. Pretty throw on a hop, but far deep enough to drive that run in, and an RBI for Reese.
Good piece of hitting. Byers has speed in addition to his athleticism and power. Nice throw by the right fielder. He couldn't do anything more. 1 hop right to the catcher, but D-Bat gets on the board early.
Jeffrey Claycomb now out of Plano, Texas. He's a 2026. You're right, there are some youngsters in this game. And they're better for it.
And over the years, we've seen a steady progression of younger players to Jupiter. It's just not an all senior event anymore, as it kind of was in the early days. I think a lot of seniors, especially pitchers, you know, have shut it down by this time of year, even though Jupiter's 3 weeks earlier than it used to be.
Base hit, left field. Both players that had caught your eye again.
Yeah, let the 2026ers, the juniors, the rising, our sophomores, I should say, stand out early. He's got a fastball up in the zone, real simple swing. Didn't try to do too much with it. D-Bat has another runner on.
Oren Abels from Melissa, Texas. Melissa High School, where he is a senior. Pops that one up, back of second base into shallow right field. Called off that time by the right fielder, Hudson Comer, who comes on in and puts it away. But the underdogs in this one strike first. D-Bat United team on top of GBG TV SoCal, 1-0.
Oh yeah, good wait for this one.
David and Darren and so many scouts, college coaches, and recruiting coordinators back here in Jupiter. If you have that role, you've got yourself a golf cart, and they're watching some of the talented players for GBG, TB, SoCal go to work. They're getting ready to swing the bat. Clint Berkey will be their foe. Name or two that intrigues you on this list.
Well, Logan DeGroot, the leadoff hitter, I loved him at PG National, ranked 173rd. In my book, he's a little bit better than that. Augie Lopez, left-hand hitting hard-hitting catcher, stands out. Kaysen Casarinia, 163rd ranked, doing the DHing today. A very versatile, high-level hitter who also stood out at PG National.
Yeah, we talk about the coaches of that team again. It's Michael Garcia-Parra and Benny Bonilla, the co-head coaches. They're looking at Clint Berkey. Berkey gets the call. Will go to work on the mound for this D-BAT team. He's a Texan, right-handed pitcher. Ranger College is where he is headed.
And this is a perfect junior college type pitcher. He's 6'5", 168. That's his listed size. You believe that looking at that thin frame. Just turned 17 years old last month, so he's very, very young for a senior. And he's been up to mid-80s, 85, 86, but there's going to be so much more there with that build and the young age. Good development project at a junior college.
Yeah, he's ready to develop. I asked him if I gave you 1 hour per day to train this pitcher, how would you do it? He said, I'd spend 15 minutes reading a book about mental mindset, 15 minutes deep stretching, 15 working on baseball, and 15 lifting as he drops a breaking ball in there for strike one. But again, those first 15 minutes working on the mind.
Okay. At 168 pounds, maybe if he had a little snack next to him, maybe a protein shake.
Logan DeGroot hits a high fly ball, hugging the line in right field. Pretty good carry to it, but Kyle Lockhart puts it away, the right fielder.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to talk to him about DeGroot more later. Just a 6'3", 195-pound athlete with bat speed, 6'5" speed in the 60. A lot to project there.
Christopher Tempoya is the left fielder after the DeGroot fly out. Number 58 on that GBG TV SoCal jersey. Belt high for a strike. San Diego State commit. 2024 at Oaks Christian in his senior year. Makes his home up north of the San Fernando Valley and Westlake. Pretty part of Southern California. He's 18 years old. Pitch down and in, pulls the hands in and rockets it foul.
Lots of life on Berkey's pitches. Got some cut there. He's thrown a few changeups with nice running action. Spotting the ball real well inside to the left-handed hitters.
Well, David, I know you said it, but just looking even more closely, he is all arms and legs, very lean. It will be fun to see him put a little weight on. Breaking ball, acted as a changeup. It was up, but effective.
Yes, he threw it in the right spot. It was off the plate. At that point, Tempoya had seen fastballs, changeups. That might have been a changeup or a curveball that hung. The changeup seems to be a go-to pitch for Berkey. Yeah, listed on as a changeup on the diamond cast.
From Roseville, California, this 24, Dylan Green hits a one-hopper out to third. Sidearm throw on across the diamond from Spencer Cox. Mr. Berkey got a run. He responded with a 1-2-3 inning. Through 1-0. Scoreless. It was until D-Bat jumped out. 1-0 is the score, and then they put a 0 on the other side. And they go back to work, this young, talented team. Spencer Cox, number 26 on that jersey. He is the third baseman for the D-Bat United team.
Cox made a nice clean play, strong throw across to end the bottom of the first, grounds this to second base.
Nice play out there too, David. Dylan Green had to have everything clean to get that done.
Yeah, usually associate the charging play with the third baseman. The second baseman doesn't have the chance to do that as much. It's a difficult play. You have to throw across your body, and you just can't wing it in there to first base because you're so close. First baseman did a nice job there too. He initially went for that ball, got back, got his feet set, and made the nice play. That's Michael Quedens at first base.
Austin Fry is from McKinney, Texas, an uncommitted athlete. He takes a pretty fastball that dots the outside corner. Thinking of places where he'd like to play, Howard, Cisco, or out west in Point Loma in San Diego, Hawaii Pacific, or Westmont. Westmont, a Christian school up in Santa Barbara, good program as well. So those are some good choices.
I'm laughing because there can be no two opposite places in the world more than Big Spring, Texas, home of Howard Junior College, or Point Loma University, overlooking the ocean in beautiful San Diego. It's like, wait a minute, there's a disconnect there.
Yeah, it may be the most beautiful ballpark there is.
If it's not Pepperdine, it's Point Loma.
Yeah. I think Point Loma's fun. It's just a little closer to the ocean than Pepperdine.
Yes.
That's all. He's a good student, though. Unweighted GPA of 3.84. And he's worked his way on. Be excited to see where he ends up playing as he heads to first on a walk. He talked about it. I know they're in. They've moved on. But for GBG, they do need to win.
Yes, this is an important game. It's easy to say, oh, they're already in the playoffs. They're going to take this game lightly, whatever cliche you want to put on it. But the fact remains that seeding is very important because the higher seed in every playoff game is the home team. So, for instance, if you are the number one seed headed into the playoffs, you are guaranteed all the way through the championship game on Monday, if you get that far, to be the home team. And that's obviously a huge advantage, especially when you get to the semifinals and finals where it's straight baseball. There are no time limits. There's none of that concern. We all know the advantage a home team has.
Over the top of that one on a 1-0 count against Kyle Lockhart, who's out of Friendswood, Texas. Still making his college decisions. Amongst those, as this senior works through it, are Rice, East Carolina, a couple of schools he's very interested in. Son of Nancy and Lael. Lael Sr., his dad.
Yeah, I've been following Kyle's older brother, Lael Jr., for years. He spent 4 years playing with PG, one of the best fielding defensive first basemen I've ever seen, but ironically is now up to AAA as a left-handed pitcher. He was a two-way player, first at University of Houston, then at Arkansas, and he's now at the tip of the big leagues with the Detroit Tigers as a left-handed pitcher.
That's a cool story. Tigers next couple of years, it'll be fun to watch all their young players, including Lael, get there. See if they can start competing in a division in which they should be able to.
They're getting pretty close to it. If you look at their second half record and how some of their pitching is developed, some of their hitters, Torkelson's, Hunter or Green just needs to get healthy, and play 140 games. They're getting there. They're pretty close. Got a good minor league system, so they may be the ones that challenge the Twins next year.
It's crazy that Riley Green has been in the big leagues, which what feels like for quite some time now, as that one misses inside and off the plate. I feel like he was just here at Jupiter as well, center fielder for Detroit. He's becoming an old man already. 3-1 the count. A.J. Hinch, the manager there. George Lombard on that coaching staff. His son is playing at this event. It's funny running into George Lombard, who's the bench coach and will be a manager someday in the big leagues. Just so joyful. He'd rather be coaching in the playoffs, don't get me wrong, but so joyful to just put a T-shirt on and go watch his son play. He doesn't get to do that a lot. Bouncing ball out towards second. They'll luck to hurry it. The turn on to first. Good speed, no chance. And it was a slow roller as well. They get Fry, though.
Lockhart played in the showcase on Wednesday, ran a 6.71 there. He's running the 6.6s many times. So with that kind of speed, you know, relatively slow hit ground ball, really not much of a chance for the double play, but still a clean turn.
Austin Smith holds that bat parallel to the ground behind his back. One of the extra hitters or DHs for this team. Third baseman and a pitcher by trade. That's his day job from Prestonwood Christian Academy. He's a youngster too, at 2026. Uncommitted, obviously. They didn't grab him young. And where would he love to play right now? It's just one place he's got his eyes on as he learns more. It's Texas.
Yeah, there's a fairly long list of players who've played in three Jupiters, as the 2026s are on path to do. A much smaller list of 4-time Jupiter players, and of course, this year we had Sam Cozart join the 5 Jupiter club, which is kind of mind-blowing.
Our producer Jason Jaquette, who's not with us at this event, sent me a really cool note on Sam Cozart. He's a young pitcher who is playing for South Charlotte Panthers.
South Charlotte Panthers.
See if I can go find that note, because it's a fun one when you think about a man who's still not a senior. He's a junior playing here. Cozart's career numbers at Jupiter: 19 2/3 innings, 27 strikeouts, 2 runs. He's a junior. He's been coming that long. He made his Jupiter debut on October 10th, 2019. We got a chance at a caught stealing, although the throw got caught right up in the sliding base runner. Let's hope he's all right.
Yeah, and Sam went 6 innings and didn't pick up the W. Left the game with it 1-1 in a game the South Charlotte Panthers won 2-1 in the 7th inning.
He was pitching, I believe, as a 7th or an 8th grader in this event.
Yeah, 7th grader.
Back in 2019.
Was the winning pitcher in a game as an 8th grader.
That pitch is low. As a matter of fact, he made his debut, and one more thought on Sam Cozart, the prospect, one of the top arms in the 2025 class. Made his debut October 10th, 2019. One of the players on the team that he faced that day, the starting shortstop for the current Cardinals in the big leagues, Mason Wynn, who in his own right used this event as a wonderful coming out party, re-emerging party. Had a tough summer off the field, came here, threw 98.
hit bombs,
and was great. And we know about his arm. Obviously, he's flexed that triple-digit arm as an infielder in the major leagues. This has been, they've been a grinding, kind of a fun team so far, this D-BAT team. Not a care in the world, and they're playing fun baseball. Brock Musson now. Couple of runners on. Lucky Lopez has done a nice job. Yeah. He's been playing goalie back there.
Yeah, Lopez more known for his bat, big, strong hitter. I've seen him play a number of times, and the defense really doesn't stand out, but he obviously has been working about it, and that blocking pitches can save so many bases.
Well located pitch on 1-0, a little 2-seam fastball down and away. 1-1 the count. Right over the top of that one, 1-2 the count. Ryan Benesio's the head coach of this D-BAT team. He played for Skip Johnson at Navarro College and Dave Van Horn in Nebraska. Ryan played 5 years as a pro and has been with D-BAT, now United Baseball Club, for 14 years. Right down the middle. That's strike 3. Big reaction in that dugout. They keep a 0 up there on the other side. They'll look to scratch that when we come back. There's strike 3, stranding a pair.
And never let myself believe that I was gonna be in the big leagues. I always worked for it until I achieved it. Back in Puerto Rico, I remember my dad would hit me ground balls from the top of the hill. That forced me to always move my feet. There were no limits to where I could go, so I played with no limits.
Well, this DBAT United Baseball Club, young team this year, and a great start in this game, third of pool play. It's got a fun history, this organization out of Texas. Class of 06, he'll take the baseball tonight against the Diamondbacks, Clayton Kershaw. He was part of that group.
I only saw Kershaw play first base in high school. He obviously pitched a little bit more, but not in front of me, but he a DBAT alum.
And there's a fun history. I know there's some names that have snuck onto that roster, certainly, as this right-hander goes to work. Bobby Witt Jr. is one of those names. We'll take a peek back at his travel days. He's getting MVP votes this year, by the way. MVP in the big league votes. First pitch breaking ball. Long throw from deep behind that shortstop bag, and he fires it up against the fence. So an infield single for Hudson Comer.
Yeah, that's a near impossible play for Viers to make. Way back in the hole. Doesn't have a chance to set his feet. If the third baseman doesn't cut that off, cuts that off, maybe they get an out there. But
here's Augie Lopez. You were talking about Lopez and the bat. You get a chance to watch it now.
Get back to Clayton Kershaw a bit in his DBAT days. You know who one of his catchers were when he took the mound? Max Muncy.
Ah. And he played at some point with Matthew Stafford baseball,
Matthew
right?
Stafford was the third baseman, I believe.
Wow. David, you've scouted multiple NFL quarterbacks on a baseball field.
Oh, yes.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
Any like NBA point guards that played baseball that you scouted?
Oh, those are a little fewer and far
Okay.
between. I was going to Jeff Driscoll next as quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Long time backup all around the NFL. And there are some other quarterbacks there that they're PG alum.
Popped up foul. Back up over our heads.
Here's one that didn't. I don't know whether he played at PG events, but I saw at East Coast Pro was Russell Wilson.
Oh,
was an outstanding baseball player.
Good mention by you as we see Augie Lopez now with a 1-1 count. Augie lives in Hermosa Beach, California. He is a USC commit, goes to Loyola High School. Off-speed pitch, outstanding. 1-2. Is that a change or a breaking ball?
That's a change. Berkey has thrown a number of changeups, low 70s, and the GBG hitters are not recognizing it. You know, they've seen him from the bench, but they're not seeing him when they're in that batter's box.
How about Kyler Murray?
That would be another quarterback. Not playing so far this year, but we'll see him again.
Looking for two. Throw is high again.
Now
around the bag, Viers and Lunsford got together.
Yeah, that was that with an accurate throw there. That was an easy double play. We'll see it again here. Tailor-made, as they say. Right to Viers. Just launched the airmailed that from the minute it left his hands. And I think the ball got outside the fence, so we now have a runner on second base.
Woody Hayden Woodson now from Whittier, California, Servite High School. He's a 2025. And he is a USC commit. Pops that foul off to the right side. The son of Chris and Jillian. And there are 3 brothers at home, so 4 young Woodson men in the house. Mom's got her hands full.
Overall, there are 5 Southern California commits on this GBG roster.
So I guess Benny Bonilla and Michael Garcia Parra are both in the phone of Mr. Stankiewicz, is what he's telling me.
Yes.
Soon to be in the Big Ten, USC.
I don't even keep track of that anymore, Darren. I don't even, I'm not even trying until all the dust settles. In fact, I don't think I'll even remember it back then. You know, oh, USC in the Big Ten. That just doesn't seem right. As somebody who grew up in Northern California, Pac-10 purist, no, that's just hard to put my mind around.
Toward the corner that goes, and it's foul. Well, as someone who's, like you, a purist, a West Coaster, and someone who, for a decade, has been one of the voices of the Pac-12 network, I hate to see it go. I hate to see it go. I've had fun with that conference selfishly in all sports. I've been able to call all sports in that great conference.
And now you're going to be a Big Ten announcer?
Big 10, Big 12, bouncing ball toward the hole, base hit left field. That will play to run. Right back comes GBG, TB SoCal. Woodson with an RBI.
Nice swing there by Woodson. That's what exactly was needed there, a base hit. Keeps it short. Just gets under Veyer's glove at shortstop.
So here at the bottom of the second inning, 1-1 is the score, and a chance for Cansarinia, Kaysen, UCLA commit, Chino Hills, California, and a senior, a name that you guys have talked about a lot. He has been quite a performer at Perfect Game events.
And I understand he's been working out this fall a lot behind the plate with the idea that he might convert to a catcher at the next level. I know I've seen him play shortstop, third base. He's played some outfield. Very versatile player, but I've heard catching in the mix potentially at the next level.
Jason Cansarinia. It's just off the plate. Well, even in his bio that he filled out within the last 48 hours, he lists outfield, infield, and catcher. Listed right there. A high strike. Dodgers fan, that's his team. He predicts them to win the World Series. He likes their selflessness, the way they pull for each other. He said, being a SoCal boy, I root for him anyway. He said, but I actually learn watching them and how they all help one another.
I'll put you on the spot here, Darren.
Please, please.
You're an Arizona resident. You've got great relationships still in the Diamondbacks organization. You obviously worked there for a long time, but you're a Southern Cal guy. Your dad is in the Hall of Fame for his work with the Dodgers. Who do you root for?
Well, in this one, it saddens me because, you know, years ago when I left the Diamondbacks, I wasn't as warm towards them. Now, as you said, I love the organization. It's been fun to come back together and to really grow our relationship. But I'm rooting for the Dodgers. I'm rooting for the Dodgers. It's a hard one for me because it's our home team. I love Derek Hall. I love their leadership. We love Corbin Carroll, who's the face of that team right now. So it's a hard one. I just want a good series. Let's take it 5 as that one is lifted toward the alley in left center field. Well struck. Outfielders come together. Fortunately, everyone's okay. But Fry and Burrell came together there. Let's see if he missed the bag at second. They're going to take a check there. No.
I tell you, Bryson Burrell showed a lot of range on that because that's Fry's ball all the way to the left field, but Burrell got a great break on it. He could have made this catch easily if Fry hadn't gotten there first. A little bit of collision, but I think Fry's going to win that one every time. But nice contact. Who's at the plate on that? Was that
Kaysen?
That was Kaysen.
Oh, slow curveball. Good pitch. Runner goes in the slow curveball. And it's a stolen base. Woodson swipes it.
Runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Michael Quedens, the first baseman. He's going to play for Tracy Smith at Michigan. Two pitches in, a breaking ball and then a fastball in on the hands. The count is 1-1. Clint Berkey.
Berkey's been mixing it up. I don't think he's thrown two straight of the same pitch yet. You know, fastball's only been working in the low 80s, but the changeup we've talked about, he doesn't hesitate to throw that curveball.
Gobbled up nicely on an in-between hop, stepping on the bag, able with the play, 3 unassisted. But an RBI, Hayden Woodson gets it done, pulls this team even. 1-1 our score through 2. Darren and David, let's get back to work. Byron Burrell, who fly to right field, right at the top of that batting order, takes strike 1 from Jackson Baker in a 1-1 game, pool play game. GBG TV SoCal. They're undefeated. DBAT team looking for their first win. Tied him up, but he's got good speed. They better hurry. Nice play.
Ooh. Very nice play by Woodson at short. I was just saying, why didn't I have my stopwatch in my hand? I get to see Burrell run a 4-1 or something like that, but Woodson was even better than Burrell was fast. And the key to this is just fielding it cleanly. He circles it, gets his momentum going through the ball, and that just enables him to make such a better throw. Just textbook footwork and approach to the baseball.
Benny Bonilla comes out. He was a heck of a pitcher himself in college and a college pitching coach along the way. Benny Bonilla makes the move, and the call to the bullpen has been made. We'll step aside. Haberman takes the rock. He will roll. We'll introduce him in just a moment.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call to quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. I feel like Mike Jordan, give me the rock and I'm scoring. Hey, came from the bottom, that's foreign. I swear that I'm up for the sun in the morning. I told him this ain't a game.
Talented pitcher on the mound who's looking for the right place to pitch. The right-hander who's a senior at Westlake High School is Andrew Haberman. Habe's a pitcher only, interested in Duke, Pepperdine, St. Mary's, really strong in the classroom. He'll deal with Josh Vyers, who back in the first inning leaned on one.
Yeah, Vyers crushed this ball just short of home run distance. So as a sophomore with a shortstop's build, you don't think of power, but it's obviously there. Pretty sure Baker was on a preordained pitch limit that was exactly pitch 40 that he was pulled after.
So we see Vyers again. First pitch fastball, will giddy up as it gets to the plate as this man on the mound decides where he's going to play college. He weighs that decision with a 4.25 GPA. So he makes it easier to find a place to play. Down the middle, it's fouled off, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, Haberman's listed at 6'6", 240, so a big young man. He's been up to 86 this summer with a low 70s breaking ball.
He's got an interesting routine / superstition. If he's starting, now in this game he relieved, so we don't know if that happened. He's got to eat a sub sandwich and an energy drink before every start.
Okay.
Get some cold cuts in your system to get your body moving.
Maybe our two very slender starting pitchers, Berkey and Baker, could adopt that same routine.
Oh, I love that. That one fouled back to the screen.
I love the way Vyers attacks on that pitch there. He was calm, and then he exploded. You can tell how much quick twitch there is in his bat, his athleticism.
Played varsity as a freshman, did Vyers. I think it's good extension on that one, but it's down off the end of the bat. Hanging up in center field, Logan DeGroot is there. That was a big summer for Vyers. A lot of winning, a lot of, as we talked about, getting a chance to play up at 26. Played on a team that went 34-9, his team this summer, did Vyers. Reese Lunsford, sac fly and an RBI back in the first inning. You said it, this is a large man on the mound. There is a lot of presence out there. Goodness. One and one the count. He's a twin too. His twin sister, Caroline. And then there's an older brother at home, Matthew, who's a couple of years older. Westlake High School, they won the Division III state championship. Breaking ball toward the hole into center field. So Reese having a good day, got an RBI, now a single.
He's having a good tournament, and he's an uncommitted player, an unranked player. This is only his second PG event. Had a couple hits in an earlier D-bat game. A switch hitter, nice short swing, not much shift into it, but a very high contact swing. Clean single up the middle.
I'd imagine word could spread too, David. You know, somebody sees him, passes the word along to another. Maybe if you're in the college game and you're full as far as players fitting in right away next year, you share with your buddy who's maybe at a D2 school or somewhere else.
You coaches all have their coaching network, and it's, you know, it's not like, you know, Tennessee's going to give Vanderbilt a player name, but hey, something like that. But at the next level down, there's a lot of that talk. Hey, we don't have room for this guy. He's a good kid. I think he can contribute. You know, the coaching network is vast because every assistant coach has coached at another school, if not 3 or 4 or 5 other schools. Every head coach went through the assistant coach game.
Runner goes, fired down. Oh, beautiful throw by Augie Lopez.
We're going to take another look at this. I said before the game started, Lopez has always been a strong hitter. Question his defense a bit on my prior looks. Nothing to question right here. He's blocked some nice balls. Really, really nice throw there to get, I think, a speedy Lunsford. Great play.
1-1. David and Darren, and you, thanks for being with us. 1-1 is our score. We were talking about it, David, in the break. The GBG TV SoCal dugout, and we're a little further away from the dugout across the way, but they're into it. You could hear them rise up volume-wise with that beautiful throw by Augie Lopez. It's fun to have a team. They're right up against the screen right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. There's a lot of enthusiasm. Michael Garcia going out to coach third base right now, encouraging his players. And they better keep in the game, because DBAT has not come to just lay down and let GBG go 3-0 and get their rankings. You know, they're playing hard. The young man on the mound, Berkey, is really throwing well. Doesn't have the velocity yet, but he's mixing his pitches. 28 pitches the first 2 innings as we're here in the bottom of the third. So he's throwing strikes.
Just in and off the plate, looking for that zone to get things started here. Son of Clint and Aaron. And the big brother to Cade Berkey. There's a strike, just floats it over the outside corner. Berkey, a first team all-district at the 6A level in District 9. Good pitch, comes in and grabs a couple of strikes right away. 3-2 the count.
Big 6'5" Nate Johnson, a Tulane commit. 6'5", 200 pounds, listed as a primary shortstop. Playing third base in this game.
Nate sees that one popped up and it's out of play. He's a Thousand Oaks, California man. Westlake High School. Kevin and Angela, his parents. Dad played a bit in the minor leagues. In again on the hand. There is a tough play there and couldn't make it. Good effort. Fun to watch Lunsford range, but a hit. Soft contact, but a hit.
Well-placed contact. I don't think second basemen are generally known for making the Jeter jump throw. Take another look at that. Just a fist job going away from Lunsford. That didn't help at all. Made him run it out, though.
Jackson Baker stays in, is the designated hitter. Looks at a pitch just outside. 1-0 the count. 34th pitch for this right-hander.
I thought it was interesting when we got the lineup cards that Baker was a pitcher DH. That he's coming to the plate now. That's not usually the way it's done at this level. Usually your DH is going to be a true DH and the pitchers are not going to hit. And then I looked up Baker as a hitter. That ball hit sharply to third. Double play. Nice turn there by Lunsford. Anyway, going into that at-bat, Baker was 0 for 16 this year in PG play. Now he's 0 for 17, but a hard hit ball nonetheless. But 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning.
You're right, D. It was hard hit. And a nice turn. Mainly Lunsford. Lunsford was the key on this one.
Yeah, that's a hard hit ball, but right at him. He hung in there despite the slide right on him. Accurate throw. You got to see his arm and his hands this inning. We got to see his jump throwing. So a busy inning for Lunsford.
Logan DeGroot made a quick out last time up. We promised we'd talk a little bit more about the UCLA commit who makes his home in Costa de Casa, California.
One of the reasons I like him so much, I mentioned the body, I mentioned the 6'5" speed, but he hits the ball hard. Like that, every ball off his barrel is hard. He gets an infield hit off that one using the speed. But Vyers fielded that ball back on the outfield grass. It got on him quickly. DeGroot able to get the 2-out hit.
Santa Margarita Catholic High School, which is in Orange County. Costa de Casa is in Orange County as well. I don't know if you've ever visited that part of the world by Mission Viejo down in that part of the world, San Juan Capistrano. That's where Logan makes his home. Just in and off the plate. There's some speed. There's a pretty throw. It almost looked like a delayed speed. He got past the tag. He managed to sneak right on by, and he's in there.
take another look at how that happened.
One and 0 the count. Throw beat him. Lincoln made a pretty throw.
Very nice throw. I said to Garuda, outstanding runner. It's pretty obvious after watching these first few innings, if Garcia Parra has a runner on first base and 2 outs, they're going.
Tempoya drives that one foul, scatters some that are stretching. Let's see if we have another look at that steal from a moment ago.
I think he just got in there, got the foot in early. It was a nice fading tag. He went to the outside of the bag as he's supposed to.
I agree.
I think he just got there first.
Yeah, he tagged him more by the belt on the backside by the time he tagged him. Got him. Tempoya, who struck out back in the first inning, is on.
Berkey's shown no hesitation to throw inside, especially the left-handed hitters. I think that was a changeup, just got a little too far inside. That does mean 2 runners on with 2 outs for the number 3 hitter, Dylan Green.
Little comebacker over the outside corner to Green. 0-1 the count to Dylan. Green grounded out to third back in the first inning.
I'm a little curious why Green, a senior, isn't committed right now. He's hitting third in the GBG lineup, which tells you he's immensely talented right there. You look at his PG hitting numbers, and they're significant. He's always hit at PG events. Doesn't square up that one, though. Shallow fly. Right fielder calls off the second baseman. And Berkey gets out of another jam. 43 pitches in 3 innings. We got a 1-1 ball game, Darren, going to the top of the 4th.
Back in a moment.
There's a lot of great players, but very few icons.
To be an icon, you have to be good on and off the field. The gold and black is iconic. I just love how they mesh together at the top.
The icon bat is very balanced and light feel, which allows you to trust your barrel. It feels good when you swing it.
Icon's different because the sweet spot felt huge.
The pop, you just throw the bat out and the ball just flies.
If you're an elite player, you'll love the icon.
Being in the wild is the best when you're with your family. We do all kinds of different things at camp. Go fish, surf, dive. I think I'll probably be coming out here the rest of my life.
DBAT United Baseball Club 1-1 score, GBG TB SoCal. And you think about some of the alumni. One of their most famous is PG All-American Bobby Witt.
Yeah, Bobby Witt was such a standout in that 2019 class. He was the #1 ranked player from the first 2019 class rankings in what was probably 2016 all the way through the final rankings before the draft. He was the #1 guy in that class. And to look at what he did in the big leagues this year, you know, he's certainly proving that that talent is translated as a professional. What was he, a 30-40 player this year, or a 30-50? He missed it by 1 home run. I'm not sure. I have to look at it. But a young man who's going to get MVP votes this year for the 110 loss Royals.
He had a crazy year. He played for the DBAT Elite team back in 2016 at an event. And obviously a young player then, a 2019 grad. He was playing in 2016. And hopped up on the mound, weighed all of 160 pounds, and threw 91 as a pitcher. And at that age.
At that age. I've seen him up to 94 on the mound, but every time Bobby Witt took the mound, every scout in the ballpark was saying, no, don't go out there. There's nothing good can happen. But Bobby Witt was such a player. If there was an event, he'd show up at it. Loved playing baseball, you know, the enthusiasm in addition to the talent.
That's a fun history as the catcher Claycomb takes over the outside corner for a strike. Bobby Witt's first ever perfect game event. He did wear a D-bat uniform, and that's worth bringing up. It was in 2013, a Perfect Game Super 25 event in Grapevine, Texas, and little Bobby Witt was 5'3", 105 pounds back then.
That is outstanding, Darren.
To the right side. 5'3", 105 pounds.
I know I do similar things with especially with our All-Americans every year. And especially the pitchers, because I want to know the history. And so you look back at some of these pitchers who are throwing 95 in the All-American game, and back when they were 5'6", 120 pounds, and were throwing 68, you're like, everybody improves.
Woodson, the shortstop. 1 out in the inning.
I can definitely see what Coach Stankiewicz at Southern California sees in young Mr. Woodson. He makes it look easy.
Warren Abel, fly to right field, the big first baseman. From Melissa, Texas. Goes to work. Oh, what a play at short on a hop. Beautiful throw off to the side of his body, and look what Woodson found. That was pretty.
That was roped, too. That was one of those mid-90s exit velocities right at Woodson. He just put the glove down. It was almost like, you know, what am I going to do with this? He didn't have time to take a step in. Look, this ball's coming right at you.
And I think I undersold it just from our angle. He played that in front of him. He played that in front of him. If that kicks loose, that gets him in the knee and the cup and the chest. I mean, that's, I give him credit. As you're right, though, he just kind of put the glove down.
Yeah, it's a reaction. It's a reaction play. Woo. And we think about third baseman and reaction plays. When you hit a ball that hard, the shortstop or the second baseman has a reaction play. You hit the ball hard.
Spencer Cox jumps ahead, 1-0 the count. Cox hits a high fly ball, pretty well struck toward right field. Comer now camps under it, puts it away. That is a 1-2-3 inning. The big right-hander out on the mound keeps it at 1-1. The scouts gather. Some great grub to be found back behind home plate, too, especially at our spot. Take a break when you can. The future competitors await their opportunity, and a young man who's a commit to go to New Mexico, play at Albuquerque. He lives in Waxahachie, Texas. As our umpires get ready to roll, the new pitcher, Patrick Beck Sullivan, right-hander, 18 years old, and a senior at Waxahachie High School.
Beautiful Waxahachie, Texas, in eastern Texas. Been driven through it many, many times back when I lived in Houston. But Sullivan's strong right arm was up to 90 at the 17U WWBA South Championship back in June. Also throws a low 80 slider, so a power approach, small sample size, but has 11 strikeouts in 5 innings in PG play this summer.
Yeah, played a lot of Connie Mack this summer. He said it was a great experience. A lot of people in the stands, great atmosphere. The son of Allison and Patrick getting a chance to play in this event, though, is a wonderful chance to have a coming out party, see what he has and how he stacks up. Nice slider, but it misses outside. Patrick Beck Sullivan. Good student, National Honor Society student. He runs that fastball up and in. Really good football player, too, in high school, Waxahachie. Comer singled last time up. Takes inside, 3-0 the count.
I think with that single, Comer's getting very close to being a 500 hitter this summer in PG events.
Wow.
I think this is only 13th, 14th game, so not a huge accumulation of at-bats, but he's got 3 hits and 7 at-bats already in this, so 4 for 8 so far at these championships. And, you know, I mentioned, you know, hitting third in the ABD lineup last inning with Green. When you're hitting cleanup for GBG, you know, that says something right there pretty loudly. And the UC Irvine commit goes down to first base on the walk.
Augie Lopez now with Comer out front.
I want to give one last shout out to Clint Berkey, the starter for D-back, who worked a great 3 innings of work, kept his team in the ball game from the get-go. You know, through 3 very clean innings, through strikes, through multiple pitches. It'll be interesting to see how he develops at Ranger High School, or Ranger Junior College, excuse me, you know, as he gets stronger and bigger and adds velocity.
Rushed off and left that one behind. 1-1 the count. I'm excited to see when that waist size goes from 30 to 33, 34, something like that for that right-hander. You're right, there's a lot of pitchability there. Confidence, too. This is an undefeated team at a great event. He kept them in order very nicely. Had that clean first after his team had scored a run. That sent a really good message. 2-1 the count here. Grab the inside corner to even up things at 2-2.
It's a nice ball game when you think of even here in the middle of the game in the 4th inning, and you think, okay, who's the defensive star of the game? What's the best defensive plays? And you have multiple players, and of course Lopez is one of them with his ability to block pitches, the great throw, caught stealing, catching the speedy Lunsford.
Three and 2 the count. This is a different kind of pitcher, isn't it? This is a guy who's coming at you. He's a high school quarterback, kind of feeling like he's throwing it about as hard as he can every time.
Oh, yeah, and he's throwing hard. He's 89-91. He's bringing it pretty well.
That's a good spot for that one. By the way, we keep talking about Benny Bonilla and Michael Garcia-Parra, the coaches, and if you're just hanging out with us and you hear that Garcia-Parra name, yeah, that's the brother to the big leaguer, both great baseball men, but that's Nomar's brother. Their dad, a great founder of the program. Hit hard, diving attempt, that's a base hit center field. They'll stop the runner at third. Nice at bat, hanging in there with pitches in. Augie Lopez has been on twice today.
Beautiful. You know, we talked about his defense. That's his 2nd time on base. Squares that ball up. He knows he's going to be seeing fastballs. It's 3-2. Hey, Vyers almost got that. That was a heck of an effort. And I like the base running by Comer. He had no hesitation, turn in to go to third, made it easily. So we've got runners at 1st and 3rd and no out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
And we've got Hayden Woodson, who already singled in a run back in the 2nd. Dirty uniform from spikes all the way up. He took a pitch, looked like a strike, but it was maybe called a little bit high. Pulled the bat back.
Yeah, the catcher, Claycomb, coming up out of his crouch early. thinking that Lopez might be running. Might have gotten in the umpire's view.
I think Lopez was running, saw the square to bunt, maybe thinking there was a squeeze or a safety squeeze going on. It would have made contact, would have been a safety squeeze. Conversation time now. These games are scheduled for 7 innings or 2 hours in length. You can't start an inning after the 2-hour mark. And certainly if you're GBG, you start thinking, okay, bottom of 4. Let's get a couple of runs here, and we'll start counting down outs to the victory. And whether it ends up going the full 7 or 6 innings, we'll see. Michael with some last-minute advice for his man at third, and Comer. Big swing, couldn't square it up. Shallow center field. It's a bluff tag. The throw is cut off. Burrell uncorked a pretty good one.
Pretty good, and it wasn't really, I think, especially with Comer at third, 6'3", 205, a big third baseman, not a runner. Burrell in shallow center. Not really a good chance, especially with no out. There's going to be other hitters up this inning, chance to drive them in with 1 or 2 outs. But Burrell gets there, gets in perfect position, great footwork, hits the cutoff man. Everything stays in order.
Concerenia, high bouncing ball in front of the bag. Turns around, flips in time to get the runner. Run scores, it's 2-1. But somehow the thought was, let me see if I can turn this into an out from behind, and that's what Vyers did.
That was a risky play there by Vyers. First of all, he made a great play by charging that ball. If he doesn't get that ball, until it bounces again, nobody gets any outs. But a nice play by Lunsford, though. That throw was low. Lunsford scooped it out, kept his foot on the bag. Keeps runner out of scoring position with 2 outs.
1-0 the count. Boy, he had no momentum, too, and that was a tough one. We have an opportunity to see another bat hop in there and swing it. Sebastian Suarez. The Valle takes one way inside. That squares him up. Ouch.
Ouch, and you get a chance to pinch hit and all, and don't even get to swing the bat. Now, probably the most important thing on Michael Garcia Parra's mind, yes, he wants to win the game. That's obvious. But the most important thing as far as innings and score go is to hold D-back to as few runs as possible. Because the first determiner, aside from one-loss record, in the rankings is runs allowed. And coming into this game, GBG has allowed 1 run in 2 games. So that sets them up real well to be right there near the top of the rankings. And if they can hold D-bat scoreless the rest of the game, they're going to be a 1 or 2 or 3 seed. I haven't looked at all the runs allowed and the bracket standings, and of course they're very fluid and with 12 games going on at one time. But 2 or 3 runs allowed and a 3-0 record is going to put them right near the top.
Jacob Evans, by the way, runs out there at first, so we keep an eye on that as GBG works defensively. GBG, TB, SoCal. The combo team of the 2 great programs, GBG and TB SoCal, run by Benny Bonilla. 2-0 the count here. Big Nate. Takes low and inside. Nate Johnson singled back in the 3rd inning.
It was a seeing eye single right up the middle on a jam shot, but it was a single nonetheless.
And he's on. Patiently watched 4 sail right by. Well, you'd hate to have this inning get away right now if, in fact, you're a D-bat team. Jackson Baker hit a ball hard last time up. A double play ball, though, to the 3rd baseman. 1-0 the count, Jackson. started this game on the mound. 6-6, big strike zone.
Not an advantageous situation for a 6'6" right-handed hitter with a 90, 91 mile an hour on the arm on the mound. Hard to get that bat out in time at that length. But Baker fouls that one off and stays in with a 1-2 count.
Logan DeGroot waits on deck. He's 1 for 2.
Baker still fighting him off. You can tell he's just doing that right now, fighting it off. He's behind, and I don't think Sullivan's going to throw anything else with fastballs right here. He's thrown almost all fastballs the entire inning. Of course, there's a slider. Buries it in the left-hand box.
Beckham went out there, played it on a backhand, was fortunate, couldn't get his body in front of it, but he stopped it. 25th year this event is being played. Nearly 1,200 Major League alumni that have gone on out of this event, gone into either college or pro ball right away the very next year, and gone on all the way to the major leagues. More than 6,000 players that have played in this event have been drafted. Bases loaded walk. And a run will score. 3-1. Logan DeGroot, bases loaded, a chance to do some real damage now. You can feel the momentum shifting dramatically. A good-looking fastball as he pours that one in there. 0-1 the count. It's been a heavy inning for this right-hander. 34 pitches. A couple of good fastballs back-to-back. Logan singled, stole the bag. Also flied to right field. Outstanding speed for the Coach Savage UCLA commit. Bouncing ball, this will be tough. Charging, firing, in time to get the speedy DeGroot. Couple of runs score though, and GBG TB SoCal takes the lead. Haberman will try and keep it right there, 3-1.
Oh yeah. But wait for this one.
It was wild a couple of years ago. You and I had a chance to call the championship game at Jupiter. We streamed it out. It was played in Fort Myers. Just things were different. It was a COVID year of 2020, but GBG TB SoCal won it.
Yeah, and the significant thing about that, aside from, like you said, COVID year, everything was different, is that was the first time a West Coast team had ever won the Jupiter Championship, and it's still the only time. The closest otherwise before that was the Houston Heat. So that really stood out. I know, PG's founder, Jerry Ford, really took that as being very important because, baseball in the travel world is so Florida, Georgia, Southeast centric. To have a team from Florida to come all the way across country and win really stood out, especially to Jerry Ford.
Well, and look back as we see Austin Fry take his chance. You think about how the world was evolving back in 2020 in the fall. There were a lot of restrictions in California out west, and These athletes, you would think just by nature, not only is it a further trip to take, you know, you're off by 3 hours on your clock if you play a morning game, but simply put, your Eastern brethren, especially your Southern brethren, you weren't able to play as much baseball as they were, so to win it was really amazing.
And to tell you the truth, Carson Williams, as we see a little ground ball to second base for out number 1. Carson Williams, he was ranked, I think he was ranked in the 150s going into that event, but he really wasn't on the radar too much. And I don't think he was really on a lot of scouts' radars, and that put him on because not only did he hit 5-something, he was 94 off the mound, and of course, as that graphic showed, he's now ranked by MLB.com as the 19th best prospect in all of minor league baseball right now.
You saw Christopher Tampoya has come in, and he is playing at second base. Casey Carcerania has moved out. There's Tampoya again for the second out of the inning. You make a move defensively, the baseball will find you. And it has a couple of times. As Carcerania is in left, Tampoya is at second.
Andrew Haberman's been kind of a metronome here.
I agree.
Just throwing strikes, heavy fastballs, low to mid 80s, nothing fancy here at all. But the hitters are putting the ball on the ground and getting outs, getting quick outs.
Pours that one right down the middle to Austin Smith. Haberman played at a UBC event in Irvine, WWBA Nationals in Georgia. What pretty good pitch just off the plate outside.
Hasn't thrown many of those curveballs, but that had both shape and velocity to it. Good pitch. Might see that a little bit more, especially as he goes through the lineup for the second time.
Haberman, second team All-League performer, first team All-CIF in California this year. Fires a fastball, right side. It's found over there and put away. Quedens, the first baseman, right next to Tampoya, and they turn it into an out. We roll along. As David said, Haberman has been outstanding. He has had 3 clean innings in succession, facing the minimum since the third. Back to action, first pitch, high and tight, and that clips a batter, and Tampoya is on. Tampoya, who has been hit twice, makes his way to first.
Yeah, Patrick Sullivan back on the mound. Just tried to throw a breaking ball there and got absolutely no part of his proper release point. Bounced it well in front of the plate. I guess if you're going to get hit by a pitch, it might as well be like that.
I would agree.
But nonetheless, it does put the leadoff hitter on. And GBG, you get the feeling they missed an opportunity last inning. You know, it seemed like the bases loaded the entire inning.
ASU commit Landon White will take an at-bat now. Landon from Ontario, California, top 450 ranked player. Committed to go play for Willie Bloomquist. Landon White is the hitter. From Ontario, California, he's a senior at San Dimas High School. Hitting 500 in PG events in the summer and the spring. He said it gave me a ton of confidence at the plate. That one is high, 2-1 the count.
It's a nice luxury to be able to pinch hit a nationally ranked Arizona State signee in the 5th inning of a ball game.
Third baseman by trade. Loves Nolan Arenado and Austin Riley and Jose Ramirez. He had an interesting crystal ball look into his future when we communicated with him. Ouch.
That's the opposite of getting hit by the curveball, as Tamboya was getting squared up in the back with what was probably an 88, 89 mile an hour fastball.
You could hear that one. Athletic, working hard out on the mound, and I think the body just leaves the arm behind. That's what happened that time. Patrick Beck-Sullivan just overthrowing a little bit. And to finish the thought, by the way, he said in 10 years, did Landon White, I'll be playing in the big leagues as a third baseman. That's what my life will look like. I will have 3 silver sluggers at that point in my career, all of them for the Las Vegas A's.
He wants to stay in that region of the country.
To the backstop, both runners move up.
What is it's White signed with Arizona State? What's Arizona State's situation as far as conferences? We're talking about
Big
USC.
12.
Big 12, okay.
Big 12. One more year, then Big 12. Arizona goes with them. So does Colorado and Utah.
So it's now the Big 24 or something?
Something like that, yes. Something like that. Yeah, they.
You know, we have national signing days and everything like that. Can we have a national rename your conference day where you just get to rename your one day? Everybody has to do it.
Rolled that one foul. Homer's had a good day. Walked, scored a run, also singled the right fielder.
Infield is in for D-Bat, all 4 positions with runners on second and third, or yes, runners on second and third.
David told you earlier, Hudson Comer, Huddy as he is known by his friends and family, the El Segundo High School grad, is a UC Irvine commit. Pretty part of Orange County to go to school and to play baseball. And interestingly enough, a generation back, a program that not too long, but for a little bit, lost baseball altogether. Girakis was the head coach at that point, and they closed the program down.
I remember what a big deal it was a couple years ago when PG All-American future first pick overall, as that ball goes high for ball 4, the run scores. Runner on second, White moves to third. But what a big deal was when Royce Lewis committed to UC Irvine, which was really the closest D1 school to where he lived.
Correct.
But it was a big deal that Royce Lewis, top player in the country, future top pick in the draft. He obviously wasn't going to end up there, but it was a sign of respect to the program.
Take a peek at what has gone on to this point in this 4-1 game. And Royce's dad, to finish the thought, a sommelier in a very successful restaurant in Newport Beach, California. This ball crushed off the wall. Beautiful swing. That was Vyers. Sack fly would plate him, Reese Lunsford. Vyers really leaned on that one. Nearly left the yard. Then second inning. Comeback time. Augie Lopez reached on a fielder's choice. Abe Woodson would single him in. And the offense, a little bit more, David, in the fourth. This is when you felt like GBG started to gain momentum.
Yeah, they got a hard hit up the middle there. They had a couple walks, a hit by pitch. There were base runners on the whole inning. Got 2 runs to take a 3-run lead at that point, but just couldn't get that big hit to make it a real big inning and take over this game completely. And that might be what we're seeing right now, as a matter of fact.
We'll step aside, and no, we won't. We'll stay here. We were just teasing you there with that one. Oren Abel will hop out on the mound and take an opportunity to go to work. Was playing at first base.
And Abel has probably the hardest hit ball, even with Veyer's ball off the left field fence. Abel's line drive that almost ate Woodson up at shortstop is probably, if you were looking at the TrackMan data, the hardest hit ball of the game. So he's shown his strength at the plate. Let's see what he can bring on the mound. The big 6'1", 215 right-hander, primary catcher, secondary third baseman, tertiary right-handed pitcher, has been up to 86 this summer on the mound.
Good word, tertiary. Very good word. You just raised the profile of this show a lot. The well-read David Ronzi. I love that. Crossword puzzle guy?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
Vocabulary like that, you might want to think about it. Some first and third, go ahead.
The farthest I'll go on that is I have become an Immaculate Grid fan.
Oh, I like that.
That's kind of my version of crossword puzzles, except for I cheat.
Oh, don't cheat, David.
Oh, no. I want to get the low scores.
Runner moves
the lowest
up.
possible score. I don't always cheat. There's some obvious good ones. But yeah, I like having Baseball Reference open while I'm doing doing the grid.
Augie Lopez. Good day, Augie. Defensively with a beautiful throw. He's also singled, reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run. Oren fires that one high. Three and 0 the count. He says, I'll engage with you on 3-0 as he fouls it off. Brock Musson, by the way, one of the extra hitters, has moved over to first base. Pulls the hands in, hits a high fly ball, well struck right field. Comes up just shy of that wall, but it drives in a run. He just missed that one. Pretty swing.
And Lopez's big day just continues. As you said, he just missed that. He's already had the big RBI single up the middle. He's done an outstanding job catching. Good swing there. He's watching the ball. He knows he got not all of it maybe, but a lot of it. But it's plates a run. Puts GBG up 5-1.
Another chance to watch Jacob Evans go to work. We've seen him on the defensive side. But later in this game, with a lead that's a little bit more comfortable, we'll see everybody play. Jake, a Long Beach State commit, goes to Los Al, they call it out in Southern California, Los Alamitos High School. Son of Christy and Jeff Evans. Good student, 3.8 GPA, first team all-league player at Los Al. Nice changeup on 2-0.
Little subplot here. It's going to take a lot of baseball to get there, of course, but this is the bottom of the fifth inning, and run rule is 8 after 5, and if GBG can score this run from third, keep the rally going, that may eventually come into play. Again, I'm probably getting ahead of myself there.
No, that's okay.
But
I love looking ahead. Would that get him, or did it get the bottom of the bat?
I think it got him right in the elbow.
Oh, boy. Taking a minute to look at it.
Maybe got just above the protective gear there. Yeah, if he got that in the protective gear, he wouldn't be in so much pain. I think it just must have hit just above it.
Benny Bonilla, Michael Garcia-Parra. All right, Jake will head out. One out in the inning, runners on first and third now. Kalen Applefield, a Cal commit. He's from Carlsbad, California, La Costa Canyon High School. Top 250 player.
Top 250. He's your backup catcher behind Lopez. He's a top 250 player. He's at a California commit. He was your buddy before the game, Darren, who came over to talk to you, said hi.
I've always enjoyed Kalen, the way he has played. Beautiful throw down. They clean up and out on the base pads. Evans was trying to swipe one out there, and that's Jeffrey Claycomb from behind home plate.
Yeah, beautiful throw. Is that a bit of a delayed steal or something?
I think so. With the runner at third, I think so.
Yeah,
David.
that was a. Yeah, definitely was a delayed steal. Good awareness by Claycomb bouncing. You were usually a delayed third and first and third. You know, maybe you're slowing down. Maybe you're trying to draw that throw and go back to first base. Didn't happen there.
Right behind the bag, second surrounding it is Lunsford. He makes the play for the out. Trying to steal one at home, but it just didn't come together that way. A delayed steal, beautiful throw, and an even prettier tag by Byers. 5-1 the score.
I never let myself believe that I was gonna be in the big leagues. I always worked for it until I achieved it. Back in Puerto Rico, I remember my dad would hit me ground balls from the top of the hill. That forced me to always move my feet. There were no limits to where I could go, so I played with no limits.
Every time you get a call, whether you're coming in off the bench or getting a start, these gentlemen will get their notebooks out and talk about who you are. It's the scouts, and they're watching a player now like Nelson Martinez, who, though this is a Southern California-based team, Nelson gets a chance because it's a little bit more of a local feel for him. He is from Miami, Florida.
Yeah,
Goes to Miami Christian.
Yeah, that amazed me when I looked at the roster and started teaching myself about Nelson Martinez. A 2025, great body, 6'4", 195, but then it jumped out at me, this is a Miami Christian player. So this is coaches Garcia-Parra and Bonilla building a little pitching depth, maybe for exactly this type of situation. You know, you're getting your arms in order for the playoffs, and see what Martinez can do.
Top 75 pitcher as far as the rankings go from the right side in the state of Florida. David, you guys on the scouting side have seen him up to the high 80s in the past. Plays a majority of his travel ball for CBU, though as a senior, his travel ball journey is coming to an end. That's what makes this event exciting yet melancholy at the same time. You see a lot of parents melancholy when it's over because they've gone through this journey with their athletes. But if you're a senior, next up for you is high school baseball, and then that's it. You may go to the main event showcase or something like that. You may go to the World Showcase, a pre-draft showcase, but with your travel team, this is the last event.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's something that comes up all the time. You know, especially with the team, you know, the GBG team, this team has probably been together at the same age level, the core players, for some time. They've played, you know, so many PG events and non-PG events there in Southern California. They compete against each other, you know, back in the CIF and back in high school baseball in Orange County. You know, they've known each other for years, and there's a little bit of melancholy, as you say, to it.
Musson struck out looking in his first at bat. Brock moved in and is playing first base. Good looking fastball to even the count at 1-1.
I was just looking over some of the other pools to see what some of the top teams are and how many runs they've allowed with 3-0 records. Trying to get a feel for having allowed 2 runs where GBG might be ranked if the score holds out. And there's still some games to be played. There are a couple 2-0 teams that have only allowed 1 run. As that will be the first out of the inning. Lazy fly ball to left field. And it looks like right now GBG's in play for somewhere between a 3 and a 5 seed.
Okay.
If everything remains the same, we have 2 teams with 2-0 records who've allowed 1 run. If they throw a shutout or 1 run allowed, you know, they'll be right there. But, you know, maybe a worst case scenario if this game ends 5-1 or something, you know, a 5th seed, maybe as high as a 3 seed, just on a quick look at what the other pools are doing.
Burrell fouls that one off. He's flied to right field, the center fielder, and also grounded out to short. Jacob Evans is playing third now. Nate Johnson is playing short. We told you Tampoya had moved in and was playing some second base. David's got a stopwatch out. Maybe Burrell can flash some speed here.
Yeah, I didn't have it out last time, and I felt bad about it. So
something on the ground. Look out. 0-2 the count.
Well, I will say a stopwatch from 150 feet away is not ideal, but I had Logan DeGroot at a 4.28 on a ground ball earlier, so that seemed accurate.
Breaking ball, that's strike 3. What an 0-2 pitch. This is pretty darn good stuff from Nelson Martinez, David.
Oh, no doubt. Dropping that breaking ball in especially has been up to 86 on the fastball, but look at the size of that breaking ball. 12-6 drops right in there. 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning.
You've been extolling the virtues throughout this game of who Josh Vyers is as a hitter, and he has proven it. He's also played a really good shortstop.
Oh, he really has. And, you know, that exciting play where he threw back behind himself to get a force out at second. He charges the ball exceptionally well. There's been a couple plays that make you forget that he's a sophomore. He's a 2026. And he's a young man that is going to jump, I have to believe, in the rankings. You know, he's put up the numbers here. I know I'm going to speak up for him. He's got a PG history, especially with his brother. You know, this is a young man who's going to be something.
Bouncing ball, charging from short, hurrying. That's something firm on that throw. And a nice play by Nate Johnson.
We've seen some really good shortstop play on both sides of the ball today, Darren.
GBG TV SoCal up 4.
playing. I think all these teams want to be playing on Monday. Monday is the semifinals in the championship game. Tomorrow, the teams that get to Monday will win 3 games. 3 rounds of playoffs tomorrow, so a busy day for all these young men.
There's more good shortstop play, making it look easy. Hit hard on the ground by Quedens, but Josh Vyers is there. Yeah, the #1 seed against the number 32 seed. Tentatively scheduled first pitch 10:20 Eastern. We'll see how things go. We've got a round of 16 game for you. Fly ball center field, 2 outs.
And you pretty much, except for home and away purposes, you pretty much throw out the seeding once the first pitch is thrown, because these are all quality teams. A 32 seeded team, might have been one of the pre-tournament favorites. They just, lost a game in pool play, got in as a wild card. There's 26 pools here in Jupiter, all of 4 teams each, so we have 26 pool champions and then 6 wild card teams. The next 6 best records combined with runs allowed or runs scored, you'll make it to the playoffs.
And the winner of that game, we will see again the way the scheduling goes. So we'll see somebody twice tomorrow.
You got room. You got room.
Popped up right side. Well, that's a nice play.
Wow.
Wow. And he made it before he went out of play toward the bullpen. He went a long way, Reese Lunsford.
Reese Lunsford has impressed us over and over defensively. Let's take
There's a lot of great players, but very few icons.
To be an icon, you have to be good on and off the field. The gold and black is iconic. I just love how they mesh together at the top.
The icon bat is very balanced and light feel, which allows you to trust your barrel. It feels good when you swing it.
Icon's different because the sweet spot felt huge.
The pop, you just throw the bat out and the ball just flies.
If you're an elite player, you'll love the icon.
Being in the wild is the best when you're with your family. We do all kinds of different things at camp. Go fish, surf, dive. I think I'll probably be coming out here the rest of my life.
Hey there, it's 5-1. TB SoCal, GBG, the combo squad, DBAT United Baseball Club. So here's what's interesting. In all likelihood, GBG, TB SoCal wins this game. But with this DBAT team as young as they are, and the way they play defense and the moments they've had, gosh, they've made it a good game. It feels closer than 5-1.
It really does, and especially the quality of defense and athleticism. As you mentioned, the young kids, Claycomb behind the plate, Vyers at shortstop are 2 future stars. We better get used to talking about them, Darren, because we're going to be broadcasting and mentioning their names, over the next couple years. Reese Lunsford, who's hardly played in a PG event. Yes, he's a senior, but I think he's made a name for himself, and they've had some strong pitching earlier in the tournament. They didn't get it today, really, especially in terms of command, although Berkey was outstanding in his start at throwing strikes. So there's definitely a base there to build from.
So how about James Levy? This is a chance for him to show out just a little bit, a top 1,000 player. And James Levy is a 2026. That's what makes this fun. He's just a youngster. He just turned 16 years old. So you get to hop out into the fire a little bit and pitch in Jupiter with everybody watching and set the tone you hope. This is his first appearance in this event, so good for him. He'll get a chance to lock it down. Just 16 years old. Away we go. As he fires that one high. Well, something tells me, you'll give a peek, that he's already set his velocity record at a PG event, because it's been a while and he threw 80 the last time he was at a PG event. That feels 80 or more for sure, but it's 2-0. Yeah, it was Lunsford that made that great play into foul territory.
Lunsford's made a number of plays with a turn, a really nice double play turn, you know, a few nice tags.
There you go, 3-1. I bet that, you know, it's 5-1. His team feels like they got it in the bag. I bet his heart is pounding through that jersey. On the ground, ranging back behind the bag. Good effort there, just unable to make the play. That's a long, long ways he had to go, too. Jacob Evans is now out there. He had moved over. He started the game on a couple of spots. He played over at third as well. Here's Jacob's effort again.
Found the right spot on the field, maybe 10 feet to the right, and that's a routine out.
Landon White is now over at third for GBG.
Levy 82-83 early.
All right, so he's climbing up. He's not throwing 80 anymore.
Well, let me take that back. They haven't updated the diamond cast yet. It
All
could
right,
be
we're
more than
standing
that.
by.
I made an assumption there.
Jeffrey Claycomb has singled. He has grounded out to short. As that one runs up and in. Loud sound off the bat. Diving attempt, and it gets on by. That one will roll for a while, all the way towards the wall. Tampoya couldn't make the play. The run will score. Heading toward third with the slide. More of a flop on top of the bag. A run does score. It's 5-2. That was loud off the bat by Jeffrey.
Claycomb has just owned two baseballs here. Gets the ball up in the zone. You can tell he likes the ball up, and you can tell what kind of strength he has for a sophomore. I'm not so sure this was a smart play by the left fielder given the large situation, but nonetheless, the ball to the fence. Claycomb runs pretty well for a catcher, and he's on third base.
Kind of threw his chin on top of that bag when he tumbled in there.
Yeah. He might be feeling that a bit at third base right now.
So it is 5-2, and though the game has been at hand the entire time, you have a younger pitcher earning his stripes on the mound. Things could change pretty quickly in this game.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, we're talking next step for GBG, and yes, they will be going in the playoffs and stuff, but DBAT obviously not laying down here in the top of the seventh inning.
And David, from what you've shared with us multiple times in this game, a run allowed hurts.
Oh yeah, that might have just changed their seating by 2 or 3 slots right there, just that one run, and that's why I referenced, you know, in the big picture, the left fielder diving for that ball instead of, you know, let's take it, keep it in front of us. Maybe the runner still goes to third, but we you know, we're limiting the damage. You know, it's like playing deep on the line for a third baseman. You're playing no doubles, so to speak. And by the way, Levy on the mound, 83-85.
All right, all right. 85, pretty good number for a sophomore in high school. And a nice little breaking ball is fouled off. Again, that number 80 that we shared with you, that was in 2022. He had not thrown at a PG event this year.
Yeah, and the numbers are all, the experience that he's gaining pitching in this situation is you know, you can't put any sort of number on it.
Pretty fastball, just missed. That one right off the fingertips with zip to it.
But it does, even us, we're even contributing to it. It does point out one of the real dichotomies of scouting of this. Takes that pitch in the back. We have another base runner. That will bring the tying run to the plate, Darren.
Interesting. You were saying, though?
I was saying, when you ask a hitter, how'd you do today? How many knocks you get? I had 2 knocks today. I squared up a couple balls. You know, things that contribute to winning a baseball game. You ask a pitcher, how'd you do today? How hard did you throw? I threw 85. That doesn't contribute to winning a baseball game. You know, and I think that's one of the reasons you see at this level, in addition to mechanics and nerves and just natural 17-year-old baseball, why you see so many walks in Jupiter. I think more so than most tournaments, because you're on such a big stage and the pitchers want to do their best. And sometimes that equates to not throwing 2 shutout innings, but throwing your best fastball.
Michael Garcia-Parra spending some time. There is some action in the bullpen for those pretty baby blue uniforms down the right field line. Michael and Benny Bonilla, the coaching staff of this team. 2 good baseball men, 2 men who played professionally, both of them. All right, Mr. Levy, here's a big chance for you. Let's see if he can pull it together. Just missed off the plate. Cox takes high. 2-0 the count. Spencer grounded out to the right side to the second baseman and flied to right field in the 4th inning. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-1. As David said, 84, 85 miles an hour from James. Just missed outside. There's nobody out. This will probably be, if he loses this batter, this will probably be his last batter. He didn't lose him. It's popped up. Shallow center field. Runner tagging, heading toward the plate. And the throw is cut off, and there's another run. It's 5-3. Cox with a sac fly and an RBI.
Good job by Cox. That's what you're looking for there. Just get another run in. You know, you're going to have the tying run at the plate. The outfield, I looked just before that pitch, playing very deep. Infielders were playing deep. You know, GBG was going to concede that run regardless of what contact it was.
Austin Fry takes up and away. Austin walked and also grounded out. One and one the count. You could hear the dugout really just trying to lift and carry him through, right? The younger teammate.
Hey, and D-bats, everybody's on their feet in the D-bat dugout as well.
That one sails high. It's kind of, I guess the word is cool, which is a simple word. You know, Garcia-Parra letting this young man really earn his stripes. If this were a professional game, then there's a move made right away, a panic move, and you go get somebody else in the pen. But it'll mean the world to this athlete to shake hands, and he's 1 out away from doing it, walking off the field, if that makes sense.
That to me makes complete sense. And, you know, an organization like Garcia-Parra, like Benji Bonilla's organization, they are thinking about developing players. That's why you have a 25, a 26 out on the mound right now. It's player development at a different level. Yeah, winning, yeah, they want to win, make no mistake about it. But if you can develop your players and win at the same time, that's the best case scenario.
Lifted, left field, base hit. Runners on first and second. Boy, he just flipped the baseball bat at Lockhart at that one. That was a gorgeous approach.
Yeah, nice approach, puts the tying run on the bases as Garcia-Parra coming out to the mound.
I think that was his limit.
Yeah, and you could see a different approach by the left fielder there on that. That was almost a duplicate ball. Wasn't hit as hard, but there was going to be no charging and diving on that play.
Excited to see the future for this young pitcher, though. He'll hand it off to one of his teammates, James Levy, to take it to the finish line, or so they hope. 5-3 is the score. Tying runs are on in the top of the 7th.
Oh, yeah. But wait for this one.
things have a little bit more, David Ronsley, of a sense of urgency. Things have gotten a little bit interesting, and now it's time for Cal State Northridge commit Noah Reimer. He hopes to come in and get one big out and end this game.
Well, you have a more experienced pitcher on the mound, most importantly in Reimer. You know, a senior, has been through the wars before, Cal State Northridge commit. And right now, you just want to throw strikes and let your defense do the work.
He's from Yucaipa, California. He's at Yucaipa High. We told you he's committed to go to Northridge. Brandon and Marietta, his parents. Dad played some baseball in college at Concordia in California, and his brother plays in the Mets organization. His older brother, Jacob Reimer. He's had a good man out front to guide him on how to make steps in the next direction. His brother Jacob was a 4th-round pick of the New York Mets in last year's draft, the 2022 draft. And big brother had a really good summer, got on base at a .399 clip. Younger brother on the mound, and his big brother's a corner infielder. All right, here we go. That's a pretty swing in front of Austin Smith by Kyle Lockhart. Now Austin has a chance.
Yeah. Austin Smith, 2026. We have another young player. Just 15 and a half years old. Goes to Prestonwood Christian Academy, Frisco, Texas.
And light rain starts to fall. Boom, strike one, pours it in there. 1 out away from a victory. Those 3 runs allowed will shift their seeding for sure. Big swing, pops that one up. That will trickle right side, and that's out of play. 2 strikes on the batter.
You can almost see Reimer's reached back for a little extra there. He got strike 1 in there. Reached back a little extra on the second pitch. Left Smith behind in his swing.
Spoiled a fastball. I mean, David, that was a last-minute decision.
Yeah, it's natural. 0-2, you might be thinking, okay, I've just seen fastballs. Where's the breaking ball? Where's the breaking ball? I'm going to see it. No. Continuing to throw that heat.
Fastball outside corner. That's strike 3. GBG TB SoCal victorious 5-3. Bit of a nail biter in the end. And also, they win their pool.
That's the most important thing. They win their pool, maybe not the exact result they wanted. They got some young players in. They got some exposure for them. Noah Reimer comes in and gets the save, throwing 87, 89 and hitting his spots. But there will be more ball games and playoffs for GBG TB SoCal.
And we'll see how the East Cobb San Diego Padres scout team CBU fares when they duel in their contest. But either way, GBG TB SoCal wins their pool. We'll see how they are seated. They will look to lift, in the end, the Jupiter Trophy one more time as they did back in 2020. A lot of young, talented athletes for the D-back United team we're celebrating.
Oh, no doubt. And of course, the two primaries, 2 kids that are going to be top 100 ranked players, I have no doubt. And Jeffrey Claycomb, the catcher, and shortstop Joshua Vyers, they really showed out today. Played well beyond their years, both in maturity and with tools. That was fun to see. But eventually, the story of this game, GBG SoCal.
Our entire production crew, we love being here. We love being out here at the Quad in Jupiter. He's David Ronsley. I'm Darren Sutton. We'll be back. Great championship.